Show Shay to run it.
Okay, we're back.
All right.
All right, cool.
What's up, guys?
What's the one good thing about Rise of Skywalker, Bryce?
Yeah, I think that's where we left off.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
So, what they did with Leia, was really cool.
Yeah.
I think that's really, it really is the only good thing that they did. Especially with the circumstances and how they were able to, bring her back with the use of, the older
Footage.
footage. I think that was really creative what they did with that. I also really love the flashback scene that they did. And then
Yeah.
they had, Billy Lord, play her, double. I think that
Yeah.
was really cool to see as well.
Yeah. And I'll say this: I'm not normally a fan of like people doing that, like doubles to portray dead actors or anything, but the way that they did it with their own daughter was super cool. That was awesome. And then, but I will say that is pretty impressive that they managed to carve out a pretty decent closing story for Leia, even though she passed away before Last Jedi even released, right?
I don't know if it's that. I know it was before they started filming Rise of Skywalker.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, no, it was definitely it was sudden. We know she lived a great life, obviously, but no, they did a really good job considering that they had to kind of scramble to make sure she had a good part in that movie.
I mean, I wish that hers had been like the first or second movie, but I mean, nothing you can do about that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, I think that John Boyega being back would be great because, like I said, he's a fantastic actor, and Finn just has so much untapped potential that you really could do kind of a solo movie with
We
him
can
at
get
this
the
point.
sequel trilogy.
The sequels, episode 10, 11, and 12.
Yeah.
I'd actually be kind of interested in Star Wars kind of sticking to solo movies at the moment just to get their bearings.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I don't actually want that.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, I think
maybe like years down the road when they have it like figured out or something.
like finding the right group of characters for another trilogy feels like you kind of gotta dip your toe in the water, not cannonball, and hope it works out.
For sure, yeah.
I mean, and I will say we had a little bit of like what's sort of funny to me is like that John Boyega said he would come back to Star Wars if J.J. Abrams was involved because we had J.J. Abrams answer a Star Wars question in the most like weird
fashion
and vague way possible.
Oh my god, yeah. Super weird on JJ's part.
Yeah, so J.J. Abrams, came out and said that maybe it would have been a good idea to have a plan for the sequel trilogy.
I just wanted to put my head through a wall when I saw that.
Agreed.
I mean,
like maybe
to play devil's advocate on this one, JJ wasn't supposed to do all three. He was only supposed to do the first one. So him not having a full plan for all three kind of makes sense because he was only supposed to do the one.
Right.
It's still kind of frustrating that Lucasfilm themselves didn't have a plan.
Yeah, that's bad. My complaint on the side of J.J. Abrams with that, and I get what you're saying, is you don't go, if you did the first one, someone else did the second one, you don't use the third one to retcon the second one.
Yeah, no,
I
get that.
Yeah. Like, even if you didn't plan on doing it, yeah.
I don't care that you didn't like what the second one set up. No.
He literally just noped episode 8 out of existence, and
I mean, to me, it made 9 worse than 8, and I mean, 8 is not great. It's not the worst or anything, but
yeah,
dude, come on.
Exactly. No, I was just imagining it'd be like if somebody got the Russo brothers to do just Infinity War or like just Winter Soldier and had somebody else do Civil War or Endgame.
And they didn't like what it set up, so they're like, I'll change it. It's fine.
And also, thank God they did all 4 of those movies because they're just like top-notch MCU.
We get the Endgame and they're like, look, Gamora's alive still. Everyone's like, what?
Oh, God.
And I mean, to me, too, part of my complaint with J.J. Abrams is he's, like, the king of mystery box. So, like, you know what it looks like when you don't have a full plan. People get pissed. Look at Lost.
Yeah, exactly. Like, people are still pissed at Lost, and that ended, what, a decade ago?
Yes, and people are still mad about the ending, which, like, Dude, come on.
Right?
Yeah, like, and the answer was so weird, and he was specifically asked about Star Wars, and he never specifically mentioned Star Wars.
It was the most non-answer answer probably ever.
Yeah, and he tried to like play like it was a weird answer. I mean, part of my annoyance is the answer itself being so ambiguous. It was just weird.
It was too ambiguous. Yeah, like we know movie directors have to do that kind of stuff all the time, but that was too much.
No, I mean, yeah, he could have been like, oh yeah, it was really a learning experience, blah blah blah. Like he could have vamped and at least had it be like feel like it was about Star Wars and not him trying to like talk around the thing that everyone
not avoid it.
Yeah,
for sure.
I don't know. It was just annoying, but yeah. So that is our Star Wars news for the day. Some cool stuff, some stuff we were surprised about, and some stuff that we clearly were not fans of.
Yeah, figured same with you, Bryce.
Yeah. You know, the sequels suck. So
Sequels exist.
The sequels are sequels.
Again, Force Awakens, that was a good one. Then everything went downhill from there.
Yeah, Force Awakens is basically they just copied the formula that worked from the original movie.
And clearly they should have just kept doing that, because
that would have been better than what we got in Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker.
I mean, I don't hate Last Jedi. There's definitely a lot of pieces of it that are dumb.
Yeah.
But that's one I
honestly, Last Jedi is probably Empire Strikes Back compared to Rise of Skywalker. Like,
wow. Damn.
Yeah, like I haven't rewatched Rise of Skywalker in a very long time.
I hate The Last Jedi. So let me make that clear.
I've seen Rise of Skywalker once. It was on May the 4th last year. So.
Oh no, that was your May the 4th movie?
Yep. Because I hadn't gotten caught up on everything. I got my Disney Plus subscription. I figured I should get this done with and see what happens. And yeesh.
That's so depressing.
It really is.
Move on to some happier news. That
yes.
Completely bummed
Marvel.
Me up. Before we move on to Marvel, again, Bad Batch watch along 11:40 p.m. Pacific on Thursdays. This week we'll be watching episode 6 with me, Richard, Josh, and hopefully Rob.
It's a fun time.
Yeah, we get into Star Wars, we get into weird 80s movies references, which is unsurprising.
Baseballs, mostly.
Yeah, so no, it's a blast. Definitely come and join us in the chat talking about all the crazy Star Wars. And of course, we have our super chat feature.
Yep.
Please donate to the super chat and ask questions in there. We will have Richard do some weird voice if you do.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with Palpatine right now.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All
right, that works.
Hold on, if you do a super chat, then Richard will come up with a better backstory for Palpatine than the Rise of Skywalker did.
You're gonna make Richard do that? The one who's not caught up on Star Wars?
Uh-huh.
I like it.
Yep.
Hey, you know what? It'd probably still be better than what they did in the movies.
I agree.
Well, you'd have an actual story, so you're not wrong.
Uh-huh.
Damn.
No, she's not wrong. No, that's true. No, that is the cold hard truth.
Yeah, no, coming from by far the least caught up to date on Star Wars of the three of us. Yeah.
You want to know my backstory on Palpatine returning? He doesn't.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
No, literally what happened in the movie before we move on is the backstory on Palpatine was somehow Palpatine returned.
Yep.
Because clone stuff.
No, but they didn't explain that. Like, if it was clone stuff.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
If it was clone stuff,
we
then
learn
fine.
later because clone stuff. You're like,
yep.
Okay.
Just
exactly.
Like, fine, let it be clone stuff, but say it in the freaking movie. Sorry.
But anyway, we got some good Marvel stuff to talk about. So
yeah, let's move on to Marvel. We had an exclusive drop like an hour or two ago. If you did not yet read it, check it out. It is Secret Invasion news, which that is definitely one of the highly anticipated ones.
Yeah, like before we actually get into the news, I don't know about you guys. Secret Invasion feels like the big event, story that they're doing on the Disney Plus shows. Like, I figure it's going to be 6 episodes just because most of them are going to be that.
That's the one that I would not be surprised to see 8.
I wouldn't be mad at that at all. And I mean, we're getting Sam Jackson and Ben Mendelsohn back as Nick Fury and Talos. That's one of my favorite new duos in the MCU, like easily.
100%.
But yeah, so the Secret Invasion news, we just released it a couple hours ago, is that Marvel is in talks with Carmen Ejogo to potentially play this mysterious role in Secret Invasion. It's described as either a Black or Asian female lead, about 45 to 70, as kind of a counterpart to Nick Fury. Coming from that same world, described as like a powerful leader with a spy feel. And there's an offer out to Ejogo to play the role. Nothing's beyond that is confirmed. But no, I mean, someone to tag along with Nick Fury, that sounds like a pretty interesting character to me.
I mean, we're getting, because we have already Valentina, so having another character in that same vein of the spy world is super cool, because it really feels like they might be building out this MCU espionage area. So that that could be really interesting. But no, I mean, Secret Invasion, I think is going to be. I think most people are expecting that to be a movie. So the fact that we're getting a series on it, like I said, that would be the one where, for me, if they did 8 episodes, that would make the most sense. And I mean, she's been in True Detective. She was in Fantastic Beasts. So
both of them.
Yeah. So she's solid. She knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
So I think she'd be very cool choice to join the series. And yeah, I mean, we don't know who she's playing, obviously. But like having a character, like you said, go up against Nick Fury either as an adversary or an ally would be really cool. I mean, I feel like any ally of Nick Fury is still going to be verbally sparring with him. So
exactly, yeah, like maybe not in the same way that Hill does, like in Far From Home and all the other MCU movies, but
that's more camaraderie.
Yeah, definitely. And I'll be curious to see like what more of her background is once the show comes out. And I mean, we still don't know if Carmen Ejogo is actually going to play her for sure.
100%.
But it's going to be interesting to find out. And man, Secret Invasion is going to be nuts next year.
Yeah, I mean, there was some more casting news that dropped a few days ago with Secret Invasion too, right?
Yeah. And I absolutely love this one because I love the guy they got. Again, no roles confirmed, because literally the only roles that we know are that Sam Jackson's playing Nick Fury and Ben Mendelsohn's playing Talos. Like we don't know Emilia Clarke. We don't know even if Carmen Ejogo is going to be in the show. But we do know that you guys are probably familiar with him. Christopher McDonald is going to be in the show. Most people know him from Happy Gilmore.
Or any TV show from the last 10 years.
Caitlin and I know him from an episode of Psych, and like he's
literally been in like every drama or dramedy, I think comedy too, in like the last 10 years. Like when you see him, you go, oh, that guy.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, he's whoever he plays in this series is going to be awesome. I love that guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's shaping up to have a pretty like impressive cast. Like we got, obviously, like you said, Nick Fury and Talos, but we also have Emilia Clarke. Yeah. Christopher McDonald. Like, this is gonna be stacked, and I'm really excited for this. I don't know if it's my most anticipated, because I feel like we always say the next show that's coming out is our most anticipated.
So Loki. Yeah.
Right. But this is definitely this is a very steady competitor for me, where I'm like, this is gonna be really cool, because it's not gonna be exactly what the comics are, just because it can't be. Right. So I'm really excited to see how it works out.
Yeah, like especially because in the comics, like all the Skrulls are basically, evil. And they have to figure out who's a Skrull and who's not. And like I know there's a lot of people that hated that whole Skrulls thing in Captain Marvel. Yeah, I was a fan of it, honestly. Like I enjoyed it. It's a little bit of a change from the comics, but that's the thing about these movies is they're not supposed to be a direct page. Because if they were a direct recreation of what happens in the pages to what happens in the movies, they'd be boring because you'd know exactly what's coming.
They'd also be, for people that are not comic book readers, hard to follow.
Yeah.
Because if you're trying to contain everything from a single character or storyline in a 2.5 hour, you're gonna have to drop a lot of stuff. So these are adaptations, and they need to be. And I think
exactly.
It works well. And I really liked that twist. I thought that was very cool, because it was not something anyone saw coming.
And to be honest, in that movie, neither the Kree or the Skrulls are actually good guys in the comics. They're all
they're all
kind
bad
of horrible.
guys. Yeah.
They're all kind of horrible. So, like,
yeah, and like having the Skrull be hilarious is great.
Yeah, no, seriously, Talos is one of my favorite characters in the whole MCU so far. Like, when he showed up in Spider-Man: Far From Home, like, I just bust up laughing. Like, we were talking about it off camera, and that scene was just amazing.
I mean, that was the scene where you went, "Oh, everything that happened makes sense now."
Yeah, exactly. That whole Kree thing that they were talking about during the actual movie, that made perfect sense.
I'm really curious because the Kree were a big thing in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so I'm curious if they're going to tie any of that in as well. Or if Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. at this point, they're just like, nah.
I'm leaning toward the nah on that one because, like we've said it a few times, like the first 3 or 4 seasons or so, you can kind of see as canon just because they reference stuff that happened in the MCU, even though the MCU doesn't reference them at all.
And that's really when the Kree stuff happened.
Exactly, yeah.
That's why I'm curious.
The Kree and human stuff, yeah.
Yeah. But no, so, I mean, Secret Invasion's going to be rad. I mean, we already knew that, but having like more news drop is always really exciting. And on the Sony side, we had another exclusive go up last, I want to say Friday.
What?
Right.
So yeah, let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So we got some developments in the Sony universe. We've actually got quite a bit of news on that today, but we'll get to that more into that later on in the show. But starting off here, we've got some news regarding the Silk movie that is in development over at Sony. So yeah, we've got. Let's see, we got Venom, Let There Be Carnage, we got Morbius, and now we got Silk, and then something else that we're going to talk about later on in the show. That one's especially interesting. But
is it a movie or a TV show?
I thought it was a TV show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So Silk, yeah, you're right. It is a TV show.
Amazon.
But so they are developing Silk, which is of course another Spider-Man spin-off. And we've got some casting information. The studio is in search for a female actor appearing between the ages of 19 to 29. That's quite the age gap. To play the Korean American lead character Cindy Moon, who is described as an indomitable spirit who can't help but care, as well as smart, self-assured, funny, but trying to please everyone, and having a predilection for extreme empathy. So yeah, we've got some developments on Silk, and I think this is the first Spider-Man spin-off in live action to sort of revolve around a female lead. So I think that's pretty cool. This is live action, right?
Yeah. And an actual hero instead of a villain.
Yeah. So we were supposed to have Silver and Black by now, but that didn't happen. But yeah, honestly, this sounds pretty cool. I'm actually kind of excited for this, and this is going to be the first Spider-Man live action series in the modern era. I mean, obviously we had the I think it was Nicholas Hammond way back in the day, and then we had the Japanese Spider-Man show. But now we're getting Silk on Amazon. So what are you guys' thoughts on this?
I think it's awesome. I mean, I think Sony's really smart to just build out essentially their Spider-Verse, which is kind of the Marvel properties that they have ownership over, and to do it in both film and TV is like, obviously it works. So to have that going, and the films, it really feels like is more focused on the villains, other than obviously the kind of dual Sony MCU stuff with Spider-Man. But so having a series focused on a lesser known hero is really, really cool. And I like that it's like Asian character.
Yeah, and like I remember we had an exclusive about this actually that I wrote up maybe like 2-3 months ago, that this was in early development, but it seems like they're really like pushing for it. Yeah, pushing along like for the near future. I mean, obviously we don't know any details really of it yet, when it's filming, when casting's going to be announced or anything. But it seems like a new kind of track for Sony, and going the hero route and going kind of a TV show route. So no, it's definitely going to be interesting to find out more info on it.
Yeah, and I mean, Amazon, like, they're really kind of have this kind of corner of superhero stuff that is not the traditional, really going for like the boys and Invincible. So I'm really curious to see what Sony is going to be doing with Silk that is going to have it not only fit the brand of Sony, but fit kind of the Amazon feel as well.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, I'm excited. This is not a project that was as much on my radar because, like you said, Richard, we knew it was in development. But with this kind of like update that really, like we've said, makes it feel like it's moving along, I'm excited. I want to see more of it. And I think as the Sony's Marvelverse, Spider-Verse, whatever you want to call it, gets built out, it's going to get really interesting to see what like spider heroes they bring into it.
Yeah, exactly. And then, like, obviously, there's still so much that we don't know from what's happening in MCU Spidey. But we'll.
Is there?
Well, you know, again, like I said off the air, I am just letting all this stuff go kind of in one ear, out the other. Whenever the trailer comes, I doubt it's going to come this week, like everybody's saying it is. But I'm just going into it with an open mind, and I know it's going to be a fun movie.
I hope.
I don't see why it wouldn't be.
I mean, I think it'll be fun. I'm just a little worried about the actual quality of the plot.
Yeah. Well, we still got a long time to wait before that comes out. So at least, yeah.
Speaking of another movie that I know we are all really curious about, the Eternals dropped their first teaser.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Did they though?
And we definitely had a range of emotions for the host of this show. Let's have Richard talk a little bit about it, since I think he was the most excited by it.
Now, I'll preface this by saying this: we're all excited for the Marvel movies. I think I said maybe I'm a little biased just because I'm the Marvel guy kind of on the show. Like, but I get excited easily. But regardless, I mean, I think this trailer, it definitely showed a lot of the characters that we're going to see. I think it showed almost all of the 10 leads that we're going to have in this movie. I mean, like Richard Madden, Gemma Chan, Angelina Jolie, everybody. And like, we didn't really get a ton of plot information in this first trailer. I wasn't sure if we would or not, but
I mean, it is a teaser.
Exactly. Like, I'm sure, like I was thinking about it this way. The Civil War, the first trailer, we didn't even get our first look at Spider-Man until the second trailer for that movie.
Here's my rebuttal to that, though. We knew who Iron Man was. We knew who Captain America was.
Fair point.
We don't know who these guys are. Like, don't get me wrong.
Fair point.
The world building part of it, I am so excited for. Like, even the director has said that's kind of her favorite part of this movie, and I'm super down for that. I love world building. Mm-hmm. And I totally get that they're leaning into that ancient aliens feel, because that's really where they want to go with this. And they want to have that kind of mythical feel to it, where this is building out the myths and legends of the MCU. My only problem with it as the first teaser for this movie is the general public don't know who any of these guys are. And the only tie-in to the MCU that the general public really felt was kind of that joke they made about who's going to lead the Avengers.
Yeah.
That's my complaint about it. I think the vibe of it was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm a general audience, I'm kind of like, okay, and?
Yeah, that's fair. Like I think the Marvel diehards, I think, are going to be a little bit more excited for it than the general public, obviously, just because we have somewhat of an idea of who the Eternals are. But I'm betting the second trailer, that comes out maybe 2-3 months or whatever.
Oh yeah.
That'll probably give us some more more intimate detail on what we're looking at.
Oh, for sure. Because like we said, it's a teaser. It's meant to tease. And if the point of it was to be look at these characters and get the feel of things, it did its job. I mean, if no other reason, the general public's going to be interested because it's, like you said, freaking Angelina Jolie and stuff. So,
I mean, this movie's cast is stacked.
Yeah. My biggest complaint is I'm kind of like, okay, but.
And?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, Bryce?
I thought it sucked. No,
okay.
Like I said, it's a scale.
It is a scale.
It just wasn't really. It wasn't even really a teaser. I mean, it didn't really tease anything. It teased that there's an Eternals movie coming out, but that's really it. I mean, we have no idea who these characters are, what they're doing, why they're here, and it literally like
I never got involved, even though they've been here for like a millennia.
And
yeah,
so I said it in our little group chat. I said, it actually wasn't a trailer. They just went into Adobe Premiere, picked random frames from the movie, and stuck it together and called it a trailer. Because that's really all it was. Because I mean, there's nothing there. I mean, we see some shots of the cast, and there's some dialogue spread across.
Right.
I mean, there's nothing plot wise, and again, I don't want them to give away the whole movie, but at least tell us what the movie's about. I mean, like something.
Yeah.
Like I know probably even less now after this trailer than I did before going into the movie. So. I mean, this was a complete fail for a trailer. And so
all right, let's grade it real quick. Bryce, you say F.
0.
Richard, what do you
a
say?
0 out of 10.
I'd say 6.
What?
Yeah.
5, 6.
Are you serious?
Hey, what? That's not that high. Jeez.
For a Marvel trailer, I'd say a 5.
What in the world?
Yeah, exactly.
Most Marvel trailers are
3
like
is as high as I would go.
Most Marvel trailers,
God.
I would argue, are like ranging from 7 to 10. So 5 is like I said, for me, I get the 5.
This trailer, and this isn't me doing a bit anymore. This trailer made me less excited for the movie. I mean, and that's true. Like, this isn't me joking, but like that's true. Like, I am now less excited for this movie after this trailer.
Like,
than I was before.
I'm just trying to compare it to like the trailer, like of the 3 like first trailers that we've gotten for Phase 4 so far, just in the movies. Black Widow
is the only one you can really compare it to because that's the one that we don't know anything about as well.
Right, and then the first Black Widow one came out a year and a half ago. Just, I mean, obviously nothing we could do about that just because.
But we also know who Black Widow is, even though we don't know the other characters. You have that's my point of like Civil War. You know who the players are, even if we didn't know all of them. You knew the main ones. Like you really have to compare this to things like Shang-Chi, the first Iron Man, the first Thor, like the first Captain America. It's building this brand of this corner of it. So Bryce, I definitely get your complaint.
And I'll say this though, I've actually in the last few weeks I've actually watched through the first trailers from the MCU, like Iron Man, Captain America, Thor. There is a shocking amount of those movies that they actually just gave away in those original trailers. Like they have changed the way that they do trailers so much. Like it started probably sometime at the end of Phase 2. I remember everybody had complaints about the Ultron trailer, like that one gave away a ton of information, but they were kind of really doing that from the beginning. It's kind of funny looking back on it.
That is not the biggest complaint of Ultron. It shouldn't be.
Well, yeah.
My biggest complaint is that the movie's terrible. But anywho, this trailer makes me incredibly concerned for the Spider-Man trailer. Because I mean, if they show this little in this trailer, what are they going to show in Spider-Man? Because
I will say, I think part of it for this movie is still such a mystery.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we really don't.
But I really feel like it should be the opposite. I feel like Spider-Man should be the mystery, and this one that we should know a little more about because they want to get people to actually go to the theaters to see these characters. But it's kind of hard if you're not letting the audience meet those characters first.
No, you're not wrong. I think the thing for Eternals that I always have to remember is it's 10 main characters. So
yeah,
I mean that alone to me is a little.
Okay. Yeah. I'll ask this. I know, Bryce, it's got you less excited to see the movie. I get that. I'm thinking of the 10 main cast members, who do you guys think you're most excited to see on screen? I've got my couple, but
Gemma Chan.
I'm debating between Richard Madden and Kumail Nanjiani.
I think.
Oh yeah, Kumail Nanjiani is gonna be cool.
I think Jolie in the MCU is just so bizarre that.
I mean. She's one of the biggest actresses in Hollywood. And I know the MCU has a knack for getting these huge names involved, but it is so weird to think that Angelina Jolie is going to be in a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
It's weird to think of her as being a character that the general population doesn't know as well.
And I think she is going to be the primary selling force for this movie because this trailer wasn't it.
Yeah, well, yes, we know.
I mean,
I'm just saying.
I would definitely give the trailer a 4 or 5. I don't think it was great, but for me, it got the tone.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really dogging on this trailer, but I mean, they've got to sell this movie. They have to sell this movie because nobody knows these characters. Yeah. And if you're not selling the movie properly, then nobody's going to go see the movie.
I'll say this. The costuming looked amazing, and the effects looked really solid. I mean, we kind of expected that. The costumes were actually, I think, better than what I expected, at least how they look on screen. I mean, we know Marvel does a great job with that, but...
Yeah, I mean, they're batting 1,000 so far with Phase 4.
Oh, yeah. The costuming department is on another level for Phase 4. I mean, Wanda, Falcon... I mean, I'm sure the White Widow costume in Black Widow is going to be amazing.
Even the teasers for Loki's different costumes look cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we haven't even seen Shang-Chi's full costume in action yet. We got those teasers from the toy leaks, but I'm excited to see that in action.
Yeah, no, I definitely think Eternals versus Shang-Chi trailer-wise, Shang-Chi definitely takes a far lead. So I do understand your complaint, Bryce. But
Shang-Chi is the best trailer of all time compared to this trailer. Let me just say
I'm willing to give Eternals a little bit of the benefit of the doubt just because.
I mean, I'm still looking forward to it because Kevin Feige has some
he's really excited.
He is super excited about it, which gets me
excited.
He's
all in on this.
He's talking best picture and stuff like that. I'm like, whoa, dude. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's just you can be best picture all you want, but if people don't see your movie, none of that's gonna matter.
Yeah, and then and I'm thinking of what characters we're gonna get in Phase 4 that are new also, because we got Spider-Man coming up, and the next year we've got
a lot.
Thor 4, Doctor Strange 2. We got the Fantastic Four is gonna be one of the bigger.
The new guys are a lot on the TV side.
Yeah, actually, you're kind of right thinking about that. Yeah, Ms. Marvel, She-Hulk, Moon Knight. In terms of the movies, we've got Fantastic Four, Blade.
That have been announced so far. I mean,
exactly. Yeah.
I'm not going to be surprised if we have another Captain America 4 type thing of the day the finale hits, they announce a movie.
Yeah, I don't know what that.
I missed that.
I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised because a lot of the newer characters are getting introduced through shows. Or
for sure,
as co-stars in movies, so I would not.
In general, gotcha.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be shocked if we had another announcement similar to that, where a show had basically a movie come out of it.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, yeah.
I think. Well, obviously, Ms. Marvel is going into the Marvels, but I think probably the next one that could probably do that would be Hawkeye.
I wouldn't be shocked if they had kind of a Young Avengers announcement after Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. That would be super cool. I've been thinking the Young Avengers are coming pretty much since WandaVision with Billy and Tommy and everything, and they've got Miss Marvel and
they're gonna show up. It's just when.
Yeah, when and how. I don't know if they would do a movie or a TV show for them, but
my theory would be TV because all of the characters are pretty much on TV for the most part, or on Disney Plus for the most part. I would still like to see a movie though. But
I think it'll depend on who they're gonna have as the mentor type. If they're gonna do something like Ant-Man, I would not be surprised for it to be a movie.
Plus, Cassie's in the movie, and we know she's gonna be Stature in Quantumania. So
I think if it was Sam, then I could see a TV show. I think it'll just depend on who takes the mentorship role.
Exactly, who kind of leads them and helps bring them together for sure.
Honestly, I think. It's really either or. I mean, Marvel's been really showing that it's just it really doesn't matter what becomes a movie and what becomes Disney Plus because the quality is all going to be the same. So I honestly don't even really think it would matter who was in the movie. I think they're getting paid probably just as much. It's going to be just as good quality. So I think it's really just up to them, what their preference is to release it as. So I still think it would be more likely for a Disney Plus because it seems like most of those characters are getting introduced on Disney Plus. But I think a movie would still be pretty cool too.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they went with like team ups being a movie thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think either would shock me, honestly, but they're coming and it's going to be huge.
Yeah, like I'd be more shocked if they didn't show up. That would be what would shock me.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think that's all we kind of ran out of our options on that Eternals trailer. But yeah, I mean,
Bryce was like, "No, we're not talking about it anymore."
Well, there wasn't really a lot to talk about, so we had to kind of ramble on about other things.
Oh man.
Anyway, but we got some more Disney Plus stuff to talk about at least. For our next topic.
I am sorry if I pronounce this wrong. Denai
Guerrera
is going to be reprising her character Okoye in a Disney Plus show, which will be her own spin-off. And it's likely that she will be appearing in the Black Panther, like Wakanda-based Disney Plus series, as reported by Deadline. So it looks like we're going to get multiple Black Panther series on Disney Plus. That's not super surprising, but I'm really psyched for an Okoye origin series. That's going to be freaking amazing.
Yeah, I mean, she was one of my favorite characters in Black Panther, and the reports are she's coming back for Black Panther too, which, I mean, not shocking. But, but yeah, I mean, anything with Denai Guerrera as Okoye, I'm totally down for.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. I think, like, off camera, we were kind of debating on what they were going to do with it. I think, Wakanda for what was the other one? It doesn't have a title yet, right?
No,
the Wakanda show. I think we were talking about that could be sort of like a prequel. I think that would be really cool. And then this one could be sort of like a sequel ish to probably probably to Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever. So
it'll just depend on what they want to do with Okoye, because like I would be really into kind of an origin story of how she joined the
Dora Milaje
and see that. I would also love to see if like some of the other where some of the other characters came from, like the War Dogs, and see all that kind of stuff. So no, I mean, anything Black Panther I'm into, because the mythology around Wakanda is epic.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
I mean, the fact that she's going to be in both just makes me more excited, because the Dora Milaje that showed up in Falcon and Winter Soldier like freaking stole the episode.
Yeah.
That was like, up to that point, the biggest reveal that we'd gotten in a Disney Plus show yet. And the fact that nobody had even reported on it, nobody had heard about it or anything.
I think it was like reported when they were filming a long time ago, but it wasn't something that was as well known.
Right. Yeah. And plus, they filmed that one mostly like so long ago before it came out.
People
just
forgot.
COVID. Exactly. People forgot.
Yeah. I think it's cool. And people forget that Okoye is an Avenger. So depending on when this takes place, maybe we could see some cool stuff with that too, because we haven't really seen any Avenger action since Tony died. And so I don't know. Maybe we don't even know if they're really still together.
And I actually just got another idea of what the Okoye show could be. What if they do some of the stuff with her in the 5-year time gap, like her leading Wakanda? Yeah. That could be some pretty cool stuff, because we really haven't tackled. I think Shang-Chi's supposed to take place in that timeline, like between the snap and the blip. But I would love to see Marvel kind of go back and explore more of that timeline to kind of give a glimpse into what life was like back then.
That's kind of a tactful way to get around not including T'Challa as well.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, that would be.
Plus, she's gonna have to take a larger role anyway, just because of the whole Chadwick Boseman thing. And
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, like what would happen? What happened in Wakanda while he was gone? That'd be a really cool thing to explore.
Yeah, I mean, it basically became an alien war zone, and then their king disappeared.
Yeah, and then half their people too.
Yeah.
I actually really want to see that now.
Right?
I mean, realistically, whatever they want to do for an Okoye show, I'm in.
Like,
I think we've offered like 3 random ideas, and all of them were all like, "That sounds great.
Pretty
Let's
solid.
do that."
Yeah.
We would be okay with all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like
For
I said,
sure.
like the fact, I mean, we kind of figured we were gonna get more than one Wakanda-based project with Ryan Coogler, but like kind of this nice confirmation is cool because I would not mind if like the Wakanda-based show kind of explored new characters too, and then you had shows like the Okoye one that really dove into the characters that were already established.
Definitely.
So no, I'm excited. I mean, all Wakanda, all Okoye, I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And no, and I know they're gonna have a lot of work to, rewrite the whole Wakanda story, obviously without T'Challa, but I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with it.
Yeah, definitely. And again, popping back over to the Sony side of the Marvel
Yep.
story. We have a casting news on an upcoming movie over there.
Oh yeah, it's definitely this is a particularly weird one too, just because of who it is and what they're casting him as and everything. So the
Good preface.
The news that was reported is that Aaron Taylor Johnson has signed on to play Kraven the Hunter in Sony's solo Kraven the Hunter project. Now, we'd actually reported.
Who forget who that is? That's the actual Pietro versus
exactly. Real Pietro, not fake Pietro. Exactly. So, not only is it Aaron Taylor Johnson taking on another Marvel role, possibly, but maybe not separate from the MCU. We don't know yet, possibly. But I mean, it's Aaron Taylor Johnson playing Kraven the Hunter. He's not like the hugest guy in the world. I mean, I think we looked up, he's like 5'11" in real life.
Aaron Taylor Johnson, not Kraven the Hunter.
No. Yeah, Aaron Taylor Johnson. Yeah. So Kraven's supposed to be this giant hulking thing. And he's supposed to be super menacing. I think Aaron Taylor Johnson's going to do a good job with it. I mean, this role, they were looking at people like Brad Pitt. We reported on Keanu Reeves being offered the role a few weeks back.
That was more than a few weeks.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, Aaron Taylor Johnson's playing Kraven. I'm not sure what to say about it.
I liked him as Pietro.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen him in a lot of other stuff, but I liked him as Pietro, so I'm definitely interested in what what we're gonna see with him. Like he got the role because they saw him in, I forget the movie, but acting with, I think, Brad Pitt. So the fact that he stood out in a movie with Brad Pitt. Yeah, that to me is a pretty good sign. Like that to me means this is something that they really thought about, which is always a good sign in my opinion, that it's not kind of a knee-jerk reaction. So no, I think it'll be interesting. I think it'll be cool. Like I've said, I like that Sony's really building out their little Marvel corner and having more of these antagonistic characters really get to have the spotlight shown on them is great. I mean, we saw it with Joker. It worked well. We saw it in the Disney side this past weekend with Cruella, and it works well. So doing it in Marvel just seems like a good call.
Yeah, I think, this news is more confusing than anything. I think I'm sure he'll do a great job. But I think with other things that have been reported / said this week, and I think this would be a really good segue to kind of talk about that. So you mind if we skip ahead to that a little bit?
No, go for it.
What's next?
There was one more in between. But
yeah.
But
we can definitely transition into that.
Yeah, a Sony executive basically said that Spider-Man No Way Home is kind of the kickoff point to their Sony Spider-Verse. So it's like
the least surprising news, but I'm also not psyched about it.
That would, in conjunction, be connected to the MCU, which means that Aaron Taylor Johnson is now the MCU Quicksilver and Kraven the Hunter.
I think it'll depend on how it's interconnected with the MCU. If it's kind of playing with that multiverse stuff,
maybe.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, like we've said, it feels like we know a lot about what's coming for Spider-Man, but at the same time, we sort of don't.
Yeah. I think it's cool that they're finally attempting to connect everything. Because up until this point, Venom was just why'd you make
There.
this?
It was
Right.
there.
For sure.
Even though I enjoyed the movie, it's just like, why is this here?
Right.
And so I'm kind of excited for these movies to actually matter.
Right.
I mean, on a business level, I'm excited about this because it means we're not going to have this weird Marvel versus Sony over Spider-Man again like we had for a while.
Right.
A couple years ago.
Well, and if they do, then things will get real interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna be really weird if they do that. So that, like, from just that standpoint, is cool to me. I mean, let's just dive into the Spider-Man stuff because there's kind of weirdly a lot of it.
Yeah.
Like, one of the other things that was revealed is the title of No Way Home is tied to the villains, not Spider-Man. Like I think most people expected.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if they are setting this up where the villains actually can't return home, then I totally get where you're coming from, Bryce. Because I mean, they've done it with like Gemma Chan and can't remember, like other characters where they played more than one role in the MCU.
Yeah. Totally.
And like
they're gonna have to make him look very different because Gemma Chan is one thing because wasn't she like blue?
She was blue. But she was totally blue. As
Quicksilver was an Avenger and played quite a prominent role in WandaVision. Not physically, but
emotionally.
He had a presence there, and so
I will say the reason I can see this working is like even just the image you're looking at now, that doesn't look like Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. And Ultron came out 6 years ago, and I think the movie's supposed to come out in 2023. So that'll
the silver hair and everything, and Craven's like ripped, so I'm assuming Aaron Taylor Johnson's gonna get
Yeah.
I mean he was in good shape that 1.5 second shirtless scene we saw in Ultron when he was putting on his shirt, but
a Marvel requirement.
Oh, exactly. No, if you're in a Marvel movie, you're a guy, you have to have some kind of shirtless scene, especially if you're named Chris.
I think that's all superhero shows and movies. If you're a good superhero, you're gonna have a shirtless scene. It's just in your contract.
But
yeah, and especially with the Chris trio is especially ripped. So,
but no, I think it could work. But I also understand your confusion, Bryce, because it is kind of okay. You just went full tilt, but I mean, again, that to me means he won the role.
No, and that's what I like about it too, is it doesn't seem like this was just something for publicity or to, I mean, he's a big enough name that I think people would get it, and because of the Marvel connection too. But it seems like he really earned the role. So
yeah, and I'm less concerned about even just looking at the picture on our stream right now. He doesn't look like Quicksilver.
No, not there, especially not.
Well,
so. That to me is sort of something where I'm like, okay, I can deal with it. If he legitimately looked like Quicksilver with dyed hair, then I'd probably have more of an issue with it. But because I'm looking at this, I'm like, I don't recognize him from Age of Ultron, so I'm okay with it.
He'll probably have a giant beard, and he's going to be, have the ridiculous costume and everything because Craven's just this, massive thing with all the extra stuff. And yeah.
And we're getting more Spider-Man villains than we even knew about in Spider-Man No Way Home, right, Bryce?
Oh boy.
Yeah. So as if Spider-Verse and the On the Run stuff and stuff we'll inevitably have to deal with Peter and MJ and Ned wasn't enough. Doctor Strange wasn't enough. Now we're gonna also
the rumored Charlie Cox.
Oh, and Daredevil. As if all that wasn't enough. Now we're gonna get to deal with Sinister Six as well in this movie.
Woohoo!
Goodness gracious. And so apparently there's some leaked details from Spider-Man No Way Home from Collider, I believe. And they kind of reported that Norman Osborn, played by Willem Dafoe, was going to be sort of the main villain of the film, which we reported a while back exclusively that Willem Dafoe was in the film. We didn't really know what kind of role he was going to have. Now we know that now it's the rumor is that he will be the main villain, and he will be forming this group, presumably the Sinister Six, out of all of these displaced villains. And I believe the roster is Goblin, Vulture, Rhino, Lizard, Sandman,
Doc Ock.
and Doc Ock. Yeah.
Don't we have Electro?
Oh, Electro. So then take.
I think it was Electro instead of Vulture.
Yeah.
Oh, really? No Vulture?
I think
Oh.
Vulture was mentioned in I want to say Morbius.
Well,
Okay.
he was in the trailer. He was in the trailer for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's.
I don't think he was mentioned specifically in this.
I
No,
wish he
yeah.
was.
That is
Yeah.
weird. 'Cause he's the one that was actually in this universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait a minute.
But-
So this Sinister Six is going to have no villains from the actual MC. Oh, my gosh. This movie just keeps getting crazier and crazier, and I'm honestly just kind of getting less excited about it. It's just I don't want all this crap. I just want a good Spider-Man movie, and they're just shoving everything they possibly can into this one movie. It's can you guys slow down a little bit?
It feels like 4 or 5 movies in one at the moment.
I don't know what they're doing. Why are they doing this?
Because we also still have the Doctor Strange 2 set up.
I'm honestly really. I'm starting to get really concerned about this movie.
Well, on the less of a addition, Emma Stone has said she is not in the movie.
Oh,
so that's
darn.
Right.
Yeah,
well,
one player off the table.
I would say that I just don't completely believe it, but I do actually kind of believe this one because she was pregnant at the time of filming, I'm pretty sure.
If there's anybody that I actually believe when they say they're not in this movie, it's Emma Stone.
Yeah, I mean she's really busy too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's an Academy Award winning person now.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of with you, Bryce, where I'm okay, the more I learn about this, the more, I don't know, hesitant maybe is the right word. It's not even that I'm not excited or anything. I'm just
yeah.
Hey, what are you doing? What do we get?
I am definitely very concerned about this movie now. And which is really sad. The more and more that we get revealed on this movie, the more and more concerned I get. And I don't know. I mean, part of me kind of hopes that we've all just been led astray and all of this is not true, and we just get the runaway movie like I kind of want. But
like everyone expected.
Yeah, but I mean, at this point, it's kind of hard to see that actually being true.
No, I don't think that's happening.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, we all know we're gonna see it. We're probably gonna see it.
Oh, of course,
opening
night.
whatever.
You kidding me?
Oh my
exactly.
gosh, yeah, I'm still gonna see it. It's just I don't think I'm gonna like it.
I'm not. I don't think I'm concerned. I'm a little more maybe confused. I'm okay.
Yeah.
The more I learn about this, the more confusing it gets.
I think I'm just trying to, like I was saying, I don't know if I said this off screen or not, but I'm just trying to let it go in one ear, out the other for now. I heard it. I know we have to be right in the middle of it because this is what we do for a semi-living. I think a lot of it will be, I don't know for sure because Bryce, now you have me thinking about this.
Yeah.
I know
don't
Bryce
know
freaked us out.
I hope the first trailer will maybe give us somewhat of a better.
The first trailer will give us nothing right now. Are you kidding me?
I know.
Yeah. It'll be probably the most watched trailer since Endgame. I'll tell you that much. But
yeah, I mean, I think this movie is going to be huge. We talked a little bit about how we would not be surprised if this ended up being a 3-hour movie.
Yeah, I'm betting at least 2.5.
Yeah, I still have faith. I still think it's going to be awesome. I'm just, the more I know, the less I understand.
Yeah, here's my thing about it. Marvel really hasn't steered us wrong yet. In terms of a lot of these movies. I know there's
big way.
Exactly. There hasn't been a major disappointment of an MCU movie. They all have some redeeming quality.
There's movies we don't like, but there's not movies where we actively hate them.
Here's my thing with that though. If I had to pick out of the current slate of TV shows and movies that we have right now, if I had to pick one, it's okay, if one of these could be a flop, which one would you think it would be? My answer would be Spider-Man.
Wow. Not Eternals.
And no, I still think
that's not a joke. That's a genuine question.
So no, I Eternals. I hate the trailer. I don't hate the movie. I'm still intrigued by the movie. It's just the trailer was horrible. You know,
Right.
this, I mean, with everything that we've been hearing, it's just too much. Like, they are cramming way too much into this movie. It's going to be completely overboard. And you know, I'm one of the people who I wasn't a big fan of Infinity War because of this. You know, and this is just kind of my personal preference, of course, but
No, I hear you.
you know,
Yeah.
I don't like it whenever these, you know, whenever studios / movie makers just cram every single little bit of whatever that they can into a movie. Like, I like
Yeah.
it whenever people take their time and actually try to develop things and make things make sense within the canon
Yeah.
of the universe.
So, based only on what we know, you would rather this essentially be a different Spider-Man trilogy and have the On the Run one be the end of the first one,
Yeah,
and then have this start a new
absolutely.
one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'll say this, with Infinity War, the only thing I'll say to your point, I don't think you're completely wrong, but I think that's what they've been building up to for 10 years and everything. And
I would argue
that's
that
like,
that was Endgame, but
yeah. Well,
I mean,
I
you
kind
know,
of see Infinity.
Infinity War is both. It's like,
yeah,
it's a two-part.
I see what you're saying. It's just like I felt like I was watching 5 movies at once. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
and
saying?
that's fair. Yeah,
Like,
I just felt like at some point they were going to have a movie where
and
all these characters that they've been
yeah,
building up
I
with.
get why they did it. It's just I don't really think it went over very well for me.
Well, you
Yeah.
also have to remember that you and I walked out of the theater fuming mad because it ended on the climax of the story.
Oh, don't get me wrong, I did too.
Yeah, like you do have to have that little bit of that perspective of, maybe this is why that movie still makes me angry.
I've seen it. I've seen it since. You know, it's not like, you know.
Yeah.
You know, but I love Infinity War now. Oh my god, I hated it when it came out. I was so mad. I the next day, like, are you kidding me? That's the climax. You don't end on the climax. Come on.
Right, exactly. But no, I mean, we got. Hey, I'm just glad that we have so much good Marvel stuff to look forward to in the next in the next 6 months. We have 8 different projects that we're looking forward to.
I am interested. It seems like, because I expected it to just essentially be all team ups, but it feels like they're still doing kind of these origin stories and then having the team ups be the established characters.
Yeah, a little bit.
So I'm excited. I'm gonna have faith in Spider-Man with a little bit of scared.
I will go into it with an open mind and enjoy it as much as I enjoy it.
Yeah,
Well,
good.
yeah, I want it to be good. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just I don't think it will be. At this point, I've tried to keep faith for this long, but the more and more and more and more crap that they keep supposedly adding into this movie just makes me go, ugh.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
And hey, I'll even admit that we're a part of it because we released the whole Green Goblin and Sandman thing.
Well,
So.
no, it's not even that news is getting released. It's just they're like I said, they're cramming too much into the movie. Like
Right,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
even that they're getting spoiled. I mean, honestly, that's partially, you know, obviously we re-release stuff like that, and it's our jobs. It's just kind of part of it, but also it's, you know, partially on the studio too to keep their people on lock and make sure people aren't leaking stuff. You know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that feels like a little bit of a failure. Do you think that's more of a Sony problem or a Marvel problem?
Yeah.
Well, I would say Sony because Doctor Strange 2, we barely know anything about. Like, we've had a couple exclusives, but not on the same level as No Way Home.
I mean,
feel
No
like
Way
you
Home,
can't
I feel like
measure
I've
No Way
already
Home
seen the
anymore.
movie. Like,
I almost feel like you can't measure No Way Home against other movies for leaks anymore.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's setting a new standard.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think that is our little bit of our Spider-Man rant.
Yeah.
Real quick before we go, scale of 1 to 10, your excitement level. Richard.
Still 7 or 8.
All right. Bryce?
I'll go last.
Oh, God.
Oh, wow. I'm going to say 7 or 8, yeah.
I'm actually thinking about this one. I want to give you guys a real answer.
Yeah.
Instead of my eternal 0. 4.
Wow, okay. That's
better than I was expecting,
and
honestly.
Spider-Man's like my favorite, like
I know, that's why I'm surprised.
Right?
Nightwing is my favorite superhero, and then like Spider-Man's probably number 2.
Yeah, for sure.
So keeping that in mind, 4.
All right.
Wow.
So.
All right. I kind of don't know where to go with that. So let's move to the next one.
Yeah, we've got a couple other Marvel things to talk about, Elise. So
You like blew my mind. I don't know how to respond to that in a way that
you
isn't
left
sad.
Caitlin speechless.
Okay. Well, we do have some more positive news.
Yes. Very much so in this case.
And so one of the writers from WandaVision has signed a 3-year deal with the head writer for WandaVision has signed a 3-year deal with Marvel Studios, which WandaVision was pretty awesome, except for what they did with Evan Peters. So
I personally thought that was hilarious.
I looked at it and I laughed because I knew the internet was going to completely lose their minds. But looking back on it, it's just like, what a waste of a wonderful actor. Like,
that's the only thing I'll agree with you on. I mean, it was funny and all, but
it was still funny, but it's such a waste. But otherwise than that, I absolutely adored WandaVision. So I am definitely down to see more stuff. Hopefully, kind of akin to that. I mean, obviously they're not going to repeat WandaVision, but maybe some more stuff in that wacky, weird style.
Yeah, and she's done a lot for Marvel. She co-wrote Captain Marvel and Black Widow. Cool. So
yeah,
I'm really
she's already
excited.
got a good history.
Yeah, and I'm really excited because I mean, like these are all like female superhero projects. So I'm really hoping we get more Jack Schaefer like badass women as the stars. That would be epic.
Yeah. I was actually thinking of one thing that I hadn't thought about before. I know part of her deal said it was with 20th Television, which, could include the Fox merger. What if she starts developing some maybe solo female X-Men related projects?
That'd be cool.
That could be kind of cool to help introduce them a little bit, even besides our mutant scoop.
Yeah, that'd be a really good way to do that. And I mean, the other piece of that too is maybe it's not all superheroes then. Like she
yeah.
Other kinds of stuff.
Yeah, this could be with Disney in general.
Yeah. So no, I think it's gonna be good. It's also to me goes, oh, okay, so they got. I mean, we knew they had plans, but they got long-term plans for this Disney Plus stuff where they're looking at the writers who worked and they're pulling them in. Because I mean, they did that with the Falcon Winter Soldier writer. He's doing Captain America 4. So
yeah, Malcolm Sullivan.
Yeah, they're really cultivating what they've got there, which is it's a good call.
Mm-hmm.
And for Loki, Michael Waldron is doing Loki and Doctor Strange too. So
yeah,
they're really pulling double duty a lot.
Well, let's jump into Loki because, I mean, we've obviously been continuing to get more and more teasers, but the D23, this quarter's D23 magazine, had a nice spread on Loki that I'm not going to lie. I was excited about this show. I'm way more excited.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm actually saying that I'm more excited for this than I was for WandaVision and Falcon Winter Soldier, but... This is going to be insane.
I think What If is winning for me, but
it's up there.
I like Avengers Loki. I've never been a fan of because I love Ragnarok Loki, where he's that god of mischief, and you can tell. Like in the article, Tom Hiddleston even says like he's the god of mischief. They're going to lean into that. Like I love that we're going to see that. Another big thing that Tom Hiddleston talks about in the article is the fact that it's really going to be we're going to see Loki in a way we haven't seen him, and they're going to break that pattern of trust, betrayal, trust, betrayal, trust, betrayal.
Yeah,
that he's basically been in for a decade.
I mean, Tom Hiddleston and Loki is just an absolute match made in heaven. I can't believe he was like a complete unknown before he took on this role, and now he's.
It's true about a lot of the Marvel actors, and it's really weird
seriously.
To think about.
Yeah, same thing with Hemsworth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but no, I mean the fact that we're getting Loki who's a trickster. We're getting Loki who is not going to be stuck in this pattern of betrayal and like trust issues and all that stuff. We're getting a Loki who isn't kind of a supporting player for Thor. We're getting his story and we're getting it in a new way, and we're also exploring this new area of the MCU with the Time Variance Authority. I'm really excited, and this article really boosted my excitement because you can tell everyone involved cares about this, right. And they're all excited about it. So no, I think like I said, I was already pretty excited. I thought it looks like a cool show, so that had me excited, but really seeing that, okay, this is not going to be just like the Loki that we're used to or the Loki that we got after Avengers the first time. This is going to be a new interpretation of the character. We're going to see some actual growth and character development again, which, because we didn't get it in the trilogy, but we're going to get it without Thor, which I think is really cool, because I'm excited to see Loki kind of deal with his past and all the baggage that comes with that without also having to deal with
Thor.
Yeah, because no matter what, there's going to be some level of animosity there. Don't get me wrong, they were hilarious in Ragnarok.
Yeah.
But, I mean, getting the chance to see this character stand on his own is going to be really good.
Yeah. No, I'll let you go, Bryce.
Yeah, so, Loki, yeah, I think I kind of echo you, Richard. I didn't really expect this to be, like, my most anticipated.
So high up on your list.
Yeah, but this show is gonna be awesome. I cannot wait. Now this is an example of one of the Marvel projects that the more I see, the more I get excited. So I am super excited for Loki. I cannot wait to come out. Not this week, but the next week, right? So
yep, June 9th is the first
yes,
episode.
that's gonna be pretty crazy. So
yeah, make sure you tune into our next It's All Connected, because we will be doing a nice little breakdown of what you need to know about Loki's history.
Yeah, maybe even our faces will be on screen.
Yeah, I hope so.
Maybe we'll finally figure that out.
Unless you just want to stare at Tom Hiddleston, that's fine too.
You know what? Next week it's just gonna be Tom Hiddleston on screen. How about that?
That's not a bad option, though. And then also be sure to tune in with us. We'll be doing the Marvel watch-alongs again for Loki every night. I'm sure me and Caitlin will be there.
Yeah, June 9th, I'm assuming again at 11:40 p.m. Pacific, like with the Star Wars watch-along, and that will be Tuesday night going into Wednesday. So I guess June 8th at 11:40 p.m. Pacific, it will be me, Richard, TC, and Brax again, unless there's a change, but I don't believe there is.
Yeah.
We will be running the gauntlet with Loki, and then me and Richard popping over to Bad Batch on Fridays. So no sleep.
No sleep till ever.
And then D23. Is there anything else you guys want to say about Loki?
No.
Can't wait for it.
Yeah.
That's it.
The show I think I might be looking forward to the most right now is What If, and D23 also had a very cool article about What If, where they talked about how the Watcher is going to have a very like Rod Sterling vibe from the Twilight Zone. Ooh. So that's really cool. And he kind of it seems like is going to get be less of an observer and get kind of pulled into the nonsense.
Involved.
Right? So that's going to be epic. Everyone has been calling Peggy Carter's character Captain Britain. According to Haley Atwell, it's Captain Carter. So
the fact that we're getting Haley Atwell back as this kind of Peggy Carter, I mean, she's been awesome in everything, but holy crap, this is going to be I might be with you, Caitlin. This has been one of the ones very much near the top of my list for a while. I mean, I love animation and I love everything in the MCU, and this is like tackling the Infinity Saga. So bring me this series.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I mean, like, we know we're getting from the trailers, we're going to get Iron Man again. We're going to get a couple versions of Doctor Strange. We're getting Captain Carter. There's
Captain
been
Marvel.
Leaks. Yeah, there's been leaks with other characters. Like, there's a lot that I'm looking forward to with this. And like every leak with this, it gets me more excited and just more intrigued. Because I feel like we still don't know exactly what's going on. Like, zombie Captain America was in the trailer. I'm like, what does that mean?
Right?
So no, I'm so excited for this. I think it's gonna be awesome. And I mean, like, Twilight Zone Watcher is epic. That's a super cool like kind of analogy.
And Jeffrey Wright gets to do this before he does the Batman next year.
Right?
Right.
Yep.
He's becoming a comic book movie regular.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a bad thing to be nowadays.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, job, basically, free job insurance, basically.
Right.
But, no, I mean, What If is going to be awesome, too. It's another one of those deals like WandaVision, like Loki. You really don't know what to expect in a good way. You know, and so I like that kind of stuff, you know. because we don't really need to know everything about What If to really know what to kind of expect, because I mean we know a little bit what to expect. It's What If,
Yeah.
they're gonna do different Elseworld storylines kind of deal, but
Yeah.
I think
That was a DC reference for all of you Marvel people.
yeah,
Marvel is going to do DC right before DC does.
yeah, and
They did that a while ago, but okay.
Jokes aside about Eternals, I think WandaVision, Loki, and What If really do a good job of not telling us really anything, but kind of still giving us a sort of direction of what to expect. And so I really like what they've been doing with those three shows so far, marketing wise, and. I'm still, but otherwise, I mean, even without marketing and everything, like, What If is gonna be so cool. Like,
like we know we're getting Captain Carter. We don't know why.
Right.
I don't need to know why. I think
we know we're getting an Iron Man suit in that era.
Right, but that's my point. We know we're getting this. We don't know why, and that works.
Yeah.
And like this one is just so different from all the other ones too, because like we really actually know more about this one than any of the other ones because we know it's based off the Infinity Saga. Yeah. And if you've seen the 23 movies from the Infinity Saga, you kind of have an idea.
Yeah.
But
they said they're going to be pulling from everything from Iron Man to
Spider-Man. No Way Home.
No, Far From Home.
Oh,
Far From Home.
Far From Home. Yeah.
And this is one of the
what
first
if season
projects,
2 will probably do No Way Home?
Yeah, this is like one of the first projects that they really kind of came up with, right?
It was definitely one of the early ones that they announced.
Well, I mean, even when they're like in the article, they talk about it being like when they first found out they were going to be doing shows for a Disney streaming platform, they were like, oh, this is cool. Let's do this. And
what if we look back at the Infinity Saga?
Yeah, and I mean, What If is like that? It's perfect for animation.
Oh yeah,
right.
And it's perfect to really get to see these other variations of stories because I'm always a fan of multiverse stuff where we get to explore kind of what happens if you turn left instead of right.
Yeah. And I think too, this series will really help like open the door for more than WandaVision did, like with the multiverse stuff. I think this will open the door for the multiverse stuff that's going to come in No Way Home and Doctor Strange too.
How and if do you think this is going to tie into that?
See, I didn't think it was going to tie in at all because it's animation, because it was looking at the past, but it's Marvel. So
yeah. I they wouldn't include it in their Phase 4 slate if it didn't tie into anything.
That's fair.
I literally cannot think of an idea of how this would tie in. Yeah. I don't know, but I can't wait to find out.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It'd be so cool if you saw like Peggy Carter and Sam Wilson with the shields. That'd be awesome.
Oh,
double cap.
Right?
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Man, that would be so good.
What if we?
You just
what
have
if we
Peggy Carter.
Like,
you just have Peggy Carter smack down her niece. She's like, "What are you doing?" With Power Broker.
What if we get Disney Plus with spinoffs from these like What If storylines? Like, what if we get a Captain Carter Disney Plus show?
That could totally work. Or like they probably wouldn't do it to T'Challa Star-Lord just without Chadwick Boseman, but other characters that they do like that, that could work.
Definitely. I think that would be a great call, and again, not a shock.
Yeah. I can totally see that happening.
And it's also a way to keep some of these guys in the MCU without fully having them into the MCU.
Right, because it probably wouldn't cost them as much to do them just as voice actors, and then you could still have their presence be felt, in the future. And the only thing that I'm actually like really curious about, because I think the only people that they didn't confirm for What If were Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans.
Well, we saw Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man in like the first trailer eating.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that he's voicing him though.
Right. I mean, I would
see who else you would have it be though, because it's.
I would assume so. I would assume so, and that was just a great scene to have in the trailer, the donut scene.
All right.
Yeah, but I'm all in on What If. I can't wait for that show.
No, What If's going to be great. I think that is our big Marvel news for the week. Stay tuned for the Illuminerdi because we will be dropping more exclusives throughout the week. And please join us when Loki returns for the Illuminerdi Marvel Watch Along, where Richard, Brax, TC, and I will be watching Loki live with you guys at 11:40 p.m. Pacific on Tuesday going into Wednesday when Loki actually premieres on Disney+.
It's gonna be a fun show.
Yeah, I mean, like, we didn't have the time to really get into the full Wanda weirdness because we didn't start with the show. So I'm excited to see us freak out at each other during this.
I was looking back at that. We didn't start going on the WandaVision stuff till after all the sitcom episodes. We did episodes 8 and 9. I mean, those were great episodes, obviously, but that would have been so fun to do for the first 7.
Yeah. Definitely. So no, I think Loki's gonna be a fun time. We're definitely gonna have a lot of us, like probably Richard and me, yelling about things.
Oh yeah, if you want to see some ridiculous reactions from a ridiculous person, come in to tune in and see me on the watch-alongs.
Richard's face journey.
Mm-hmm. The journey of my face.
We should just like isolate that and do its own video.
Oh dear God.
We got JD in the chat. What's going on, man? Thank you for joining.
What's up? What's up, JD? So anyway, moving on to DC now?
Real quick, Super Chat.
Yep.
Please ask us questions in the Super Chat if you have them. We will have Richard do... What Marvel voice do you want to do, dude?
I don't know. Loki,
we'll have Richard
Loki, yeah, that's a good one.
We'll have Richard either do a Loki voice or come up with what he thinks Shumagarath will sound like.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, Lord.
So, yep. Ask your questions in the Super Chat, and you'll get weird voice-over nonsense from Richard. And Bryce might be able to put the picture up of whoever he's doing the voice, too. So you'll really get that kind of...
Yep. At least I've accepted it. It's just... Yeah, Super Chat is just Richard doing something ridiculous.
Yeah, well, it used to be we would rotate, but now it's just Richard.
No, I am the Super Chat guy now. Yeah.
To be fair, we're just suggesting you do voices. I would not complain.
Yeah, fair.
Is that a threat?
Yeah. Oh, that's totally a threat. That's also what this show is.
The more you complain, the weirder.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, you remember whenever we were telling everybody you would do like cartwheels and stuff?
Yeah.
Bryce said you'd like wear pink or something for some reason.
For some ridiculous reason, yeah. Anyway, but no.
The Super Chat used to be a lot.
Regardless
weirder,
of what ridiculous Richard task you will see, Super Chat really helps.
Oh man. So DC, we've got some movie, TV, or movie HBO Max and CW news. So we're kind of getting the
full gauntlet.
Yeah, full gauntlet here. And I know Bryce is so excited to share the next DC. It's like the thing he has been waiting for this entire show. So take it away. Yeah.
You know, one day I'll go on this show and be excited about something DC related.
Legit.
DC is your thing, man. That's the thing you love most.
Yeah, I know. That's why it ticks me off. That all of the stories that we talk about. I mean, I liked our Alan Scott exclusive last week. That was fun, but that was also my exclusive. So I guess I was
gonna say you also wrote that, so that helps.
But it was also cool.
That's not biased at all.
No, but I do like Green Lantern, and so.
Yeah, for sure.
But Joker news, yippee. Todd Phillips is hired on to return as a writer and a producer.
I know it's co-writer.
Co-writer, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, listen. I mean, he did a good job on the first one. I still don't think that we should get a second one. But if we are getting a second one, it is nice to see Phillips coming back in some sort of role. So if we have to have a second Joker movie, I am glad that Todd Phillips is attached to it. That being said,
we're getting a second Todd Phillips Joker movie.
Yeah, I love Joker. It was a great movie. Don't need a second one.
I'm gonna use this as a segue a little bit. I think we've talked about this before. I love the idea of Joker setting up a Batman like Rogues Gallery franchise more than
like
a
the
Joker
opposite
franchise.
of
I would love that. I would if they did that. If they did a Mr. Freeze movie, brought back Todd Phillips in the same style as Joker, that would be awesome. Do that. I mean, but Joker's story is over for me. I mean,
I think there are like ways to go about it, which I'll explain in a second, but we have a feature that I wrote up that went up today.
oh, is it out?
It's the top 7 Batman rogues that deserve their own solo movie. So if you, like us, think that they should be going in that direction, definitely check that out. And like Bryce mentioned, Mr. Freeze is on that list because like
that would be an awesome one.
His origin that was like really built in that Batman the Animated Series episode is just it's so beautifully tragic that it is worth
definitely
getting into.
Yeah.
But I think the way to go about the Joker stuff is to use him as sort of almost weirdly the Tony Stark, but I feel like this version of Joker isn't the right one for that. Like I want a version that kind of it helps us build out Arkham. It helps us kind of have that like build out Harley Quinn. Like it kind of that way of doing it, because you could almost have a Joker in the movie where he gets to Arkham, and through that you have the spinoff of Scarecrow. And through that, you have the spinoff of Harley Quinn.
Nope, don't want another Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
It's an Elseworlds deal, dude. Get over it.
Here's actually, I just had an idea of like who could actually lead it instead of Joker. What if they did like a Ra's al Ghul kind of thing? I could kind of
so disconnected from Gotham, though.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I really love your analogy as Joker being the Robert Downey, the Tony Stark of the DC villain universe. But first, we have to have proof that they're actually doing that. And right now, all we have is Joker and Joker 2.
Yeah, no, I know.
For sure.
I'm just saying, I think that would be the way. That's the only way for me where I would want multiple Joker movies is if it's setting up other stuff. Because I would love a Harley Quinn movie, but you can't have Harley Quinn without Joker.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you sure?
How do you have her origin if she's not tied to Joker?
Oh, so you want in like an origin. So we're still going on back with origin story. Okay.
Yeah.
Look, as long as she's played by Margot Robbie, make whatever freaking Harley Quinn movie you want. It's kind of my deal. It's just I don't want them to recast Margot Robbie. She's like Robert Downey Jr. level. Like, you can't replace Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. Like,
I would love to see Margot Robbie get to really dig into the like complexities and nuances of an origin story for Harley Quinn. Because like I said, I think Joker has to be involved, but he doesn't need to be the focal point. So I think really having a Harley Quinn who is a doctor, has this weird thing where she falls for her patient, struggles with that. You have the question, like her becoming Harley Quinn and all that with that. I would love to see Margot Robbie do that because I think she would nail it.
For sure.
It's just, I feel like if they did it with Robbie, they'd have to also do it with Leto, and I don't think they're going back to Leto. They did for Justice League, but that was also because Zack wanted
Snyder.
So I think that's a little different. So I think Leto's gone. I don't think he'll be back as Joker. It was really cool to see him in Justice League, but unfortunately, it doesn't seem like that they're going to continue with that. I would love for them to, just as like an Elseworlds thing, finish off the Justice League storyline. I think that'd be really cool, but I don't think they will. But I think I don't know. I like your idea of a Harley Quinn origin movie. It's just I don't see how they do it with Margot Robbie, and I don't want to see a Harley Quinn movie if Margot Robbie's not in it. So,
I think she's fantastic. I think she would be great for that. I also would not mind seeing someone who is playing a younger version of her.
I could, sure. I mean, I still personally don't want to see it, but I mean that's totally like your thing. So, but
I mean, I think she'd be great. I think if you're gonna really play with the Elseworlds of it is a different universe, even though it's the same actress, then it works.
Yeah.
Here's my question.
Here's what I'll say here real quick to your point. If they keep Margot Robbie around, like if they still keep making Margot Robbie movies and they want to do this weird Elseworld within the Joker universe, then cool.
Do it.
But they need to keep Margot Robbie around still.
I don't disagree.
But I'm kind of worried about that because whenever they replaced Joker, I mean they replaced Joker. So and same
I have
with
a
Batman.
question about that I haven't seen Joker, but is it the Joker? Is it Batman's Joker, or is it is it because like Joker as a character, like Gotham, for example, it's not Joker. It's like it's a kind of the inspiration for Joker is the way they played it. So is this something where this is full on Joker, or is it someone that could be an inspiration for a
Joker,
later
but he's
Joker?
clearly not the normal Joker.
Okay.
Different
so
Joker.
And it is set in like the 70s, I think, as well.
Right. So it could even be that this is just this is someone that inspires the later Joker. Like that would be a way to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe. That they could do that. Yeah, I think it's just gonna be one of those deals to where, like, DC, whenever they replace somebody, they replace them. So Ben Affleck, The Flash is definitely going to be his last movie. I'm surprised Justice League wasn't. So he's done. Robert Pattinson's going to be the main Batman, and then maybe even Michael Keaton. And then Superman. They're doing Black Superman now. Henry Cavill's gone. They're not bringing him back. They did Joker with Joaquin Phoenix. For some reason, they're making more. So Jared Leto not coming back. So I get
got a billion
that.
reasons.
I get it. It's just story-wise, I don't think it will really make sense.
It's a movie studio. Who looks at story?
Such a waste to me. Not nice one. It feels like such a waste to me to not fully dive into this arsenal of villains that they have. Because, like I've said before, like Spider-Man, what they're doing at Sony is great, where they're diving into all those characters.
Yeah.
Batman has like one of the best and most well-known like rogues galleries, and Gotham is just one of the most interesting settings. That building it like that is just not doing that as a waste, honestly.
Yeah, the Batman and Spider-Man to me have the two best rogues galleries in all of comics, and Gotham is literally crime city of the comic book universe.
And it has a crime alley in it. So
literally,
if you want crime, go to Gotham.
Yeah, that's their like slogan, and I'm like, "Welcome to Gotham." If you want crime, go to Gotham.
No. Their tagline is "Welcome to Gotham. Good luck."
Why are we here?
Why?
Welcome to Gotham. Go straight down 7th, take a left on 3rd, and you'll hit the mortuary.
It's like welcome to Gotham, and it immediately directs him to the next exit to Metropolis or whatever.
Welcome to Gotham. You made a wrong turn somewhere in your life.
Good Lord. Oh, that was fun.
Yeah, but no, I feel like Joker should more set up this franchise of the Rogues Gallery, and because one of the things that Joker does so well is it examines this. It's a character study. Mm-hmm. It examines like what could have created this kind of like villain. And to do that with all these characters, because the Batman characters have really dark and complicated and just interesting, like layered origins that you can really sink your teeth into. And to go into that with a more with a realistic view on it would be really interesting. So I just feel like it's a waste if they're just going to do Joker 1, Joker 2, Joker 3, Joker 4 instead of doing Joker.
As soon as Joker was out and everything, I was just like, okay, so clearly this doesn't set up a sequel. So what would be really cool is for them to do a Mr. Freeze. And I've literally thought of that. I've literally thought that since I walked out of the theater, it'd be really cool for them to do a Mr. Freeze in this style. And it really just ticks me off that instead of doing something creative and different, in the same style, you can, it's still sort of the same kind of deal. They're just, it's just a cash grab. And, I get it. They're a business. I get that. But, story-wise, this just kind of stinks, so I really want to see something new.
For sure. And I will say, like, the 7 I mentioned in my article, and it's not all of them, obviously, but, like, Mr. Freeze is top-notch, for sure.
Yeah,
Clayface is really an interesting choice, especially if they kind of go with the Batman animated series version, where it's kind of this culmination of the different versions of Clayface. You got Two-Face, which is super interesting. You've got Poison Ivy, Bane, you have Scarecrow, and, like, Ventriloquist. All those characters have kind of an interesting entry into the reality too, and to really dive into that and explore different issues in the way that Joker explored like the failure of the system that's meant to help people with mental illnesses.
Yeah, for sure.
So no, I think I think the Joker 2 could be interesting if it's setting up something bigger, but if it's just a Joker sequel for a Joker sequel, then I 100% get where you're coming from, Bryce.
Yeah.
All right.
We went on that for a lot longer than I thought we would.
Yeah.
I think we're so excited about what it could be that we just want to talk about what it could be.
More like what it could have been, yeah.
Yeah, could be, could have been, whatever. Yeah.
I mean, it's not too late. DC could, like...
get their head on straight.
I was going to say, find someone that went, hey, why don't you do this?
Well, maybe. We'll see.
We'll see.
But the cast for the Sandman series is out. I'm really excited for Sandman. Sandman's going to be weird. It's Neil Gaiman, so it's
definitely weird.
Always weird and always fun. We have Kirby Howell-Baptiste, who actually was in Cruella, and she's playing Death, which is going to be very cool. We have Mason Alexander Park playing Desire, and I think it's super, super cool that they have a non-binary character in this. I also freaking love, by the way, before I talk about the rest of the cast, Neil Gaiman's response to people who are pissed
that was pretty funny,
Death is a black actress and
I read about that.
Desire is like
non-binary.
Yeah, non-binary. And he basically is like, I don't give a shit. Go F yourself.
Yeah, don't watch the show, I guess. Like,
I'm like, that's amazing.
Yeah, and I don't give two shits about it.
Yeah, I mean, I literally, that just confuses the heck out of me. It's just like, if you don't like it, then don't watch the show. Like, I really,
people just need something to complain about.
I guess, like, but I really, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if it's just because I'm young and I haven't been dealing with this for that long, but it's just like I really just don't get people's hatred. Like I it's just something my brain can't even comprehend. Like
yeah.
Richard,
It ticks me
isn't
off.
that adorable?
Yeah.
What?
I remember being 20
so quickly. Like.
Yeah, I remember being 20.
Oh man, I hate people getting mad about like.
Why? Did I just miss something?
No.
20 years old.
Yeah, yeah.
What, that I don't get that people are jerks or whatever? Why people are jerks or something?
You still have that optimism in you.
Oh yeah.
People in your eye that will just be crushed.
Yep. Hey, keep it as long as you can.
There'll just be an episode one day that he comes on and we'll go, oh no, it happened.
Yeah, I just take a complete heel turn.
Oh god, like everything is garbage.
I mean, like
everything.
I mean, we already have that a little bit with some of the stuff.
Yeah.
Oh god, all of us have something that we are like that about.
I mean, one of the things that always bugs me is when people complain about like change-ups with race or gender or sexuality for characters from comic books that came out like minimum 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, of course it has to change. Why wouldn't it?
Right.
Come on, man. Like.
But anyway, I mean, this cast looks.
Yeah, we've got
real.
Donnie Preston as Despair, Razane Jamal as Lita Hall. We've got Jolie Richardson as Ethel Cripps. I'm not going to pronounce this right. Niam Walsh as young Ethel Cripps. David Thewlis as John D. We've got Keo Reyes as Rose Walker. We've got all of everyone's favorite, Patton Oswalt as Matthew the Raven. We have my favorite, Stephen Fry. I'm so excited for Stephen Fry. He's amazing. And then another one of my favorites, Jenna Coleman as Johanna Constantine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very cool. She's Constantine. She's John Constantine's like great whatever grandmother.
Yeah.
So
like super distant relative.
Yeah, so that's going to be very cool, and I'm really interested to see what they do with that, because Jenna Coleman, like, I know a lot of people had issues with her on Doctor Who. I thought she was freaking amazing.
Yeah, I loved her on Doctor Who. She's one of my favorite companions. So
she's fantastic. So I think, and she has that ability to play kind of a character with a weird, like, wisdom feel to her, so I think she's going to be very cool in that role.
She was really good with Matt Smith, at least. Capaldi, that whole run was kind of meh, but...
I liked her with Capaldi.
Really?
I thought... Yeah, the first time I watched it, I wasn't as into it, but the second time around, I was like, "Oh, this is fun. This is cool."
Yeah,
it had less of that weird, like, sexual tension thing to it.
Yeah, Matt Smith was my doctor, so whenever Capaldi came in, I kind of fell off. And so maybe I really probably need to go back and watch Doctor Who and kind of catch up.
Mine is Eccleston.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
That's a rare one. I don't really hear Eccleston
I
as
know.
much.
He's the first I saw, and he is my favorite.
Probably better in there than he is in Thor: The Dark World.
He was really good in the 13
not a fair
episodes.
bar.
Yeah,
exactly. Well, yeah,
but Eccleston was really good in the 13
was.
episodes he was in. So
Yeah. And then Sandra James Young is Unity Kincaid. So yeah, I mean, this is like a really cool cast. It's got some nice diversity in ways that were not expected by people, which I think is awesome. And it's got some like names in there that are going to get people hyped up. Like you got Doctor Who, you've got
MODOK.
Yeah.
You got Lupin.
Yeah, and you've got like Stephen Fry is just freaking amazing. So that's going to be super cool. So yeah, I think this is going to be, I mean, I was already looking forward to this show.
Yeah.
But with this cast, I was like, okay, this is going to be cool. And Neil Gaiman's involved. And when Neil Gaiman is actively involved in shows that are based on his work, they're awesome. You know, Good Omens is amazing. And like the first season of American Gods is fantastic.
Yeah. And like, it's just the fact that Patton Oswalt is in this. That I literally know nothing about Sandman.
Me too. Yeah.
But I mean, Patton Oswalt was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He's doing MODOK now. He loves comic book movie projects, and like he's just a fun dude.
Yeah,
to have in a movie.
Yeah. So whenever I hear Patton Oswalt, because I don't know too much about Sandman either, but hearing Patton Oswalt is like, that's interesting.
Give me the Koenigs.
Because I know Sandman is supposed to be like a mega dark kind of style show, and Patton Oswalt
interesting.
Yeah, Patton Oswalt doesn't scream mega dark, so
no.
That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Sandman is definitely one of those, like, it's one of those graphic novel series that I think pretty much everyone should read because it is not what you expect from comic books.
Right, for sure.
There we go.
But yeah, that's our Sandman news. I am hoping for more because I just want the show now. Like, but we've got some Peacemaker news. What? It's a little bit of, I think, an unexpected twist.
A little weird, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So apparently, Chris Conrad has left Peacemaker due to creative differences.
An actor.
An actor leaves for creative differences. And they're recasting the role of, I believe it was Adrian Chase, with Freddie Stroma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and like,
don't really know the actors, but Adrian Chase I know was on Arrow. So
sort of, not the real version of Adrian Chase.
Okay, well then never mind.
The version of Adrian Chase on Arrow was like kind of a weird mishmash of different comic characters. Adrian Chase, the actual comic character, was a district attorney whose, if I remember correctly, family was murdered by organized crime. So he basically dones the vigilante name to fight crime in the whole like more murdery, like dark anti-hero vibe. So it's not like, if you're expecting Arrow version, it's not going to be that, because that version it's not vigilante. So I think it's going to be cool. He's not what I expected when I was thinking about the casting of Adrian Chase. He looks a little baby face in my opinion, but I think that'll actually maybe add to.
Well, so does most of the cast of Green Lantern. So.
Yeah, but they're supposed to.
Yeah.
Well, some of them. I think Alan Scott is a little like, okay, that's an interesting take, but
yeah,
well, he's supposed to be pretty.
Well,
yeah, he is.
I always thought Alan Scott was older.
I don't know. I mean, I think it'll work. I think that leaning into more of the whole, like, he's kind of that like face of his company will make it work in a way. So I'm not as concerned about it. I think it's really cool that we're getting this version of Vigilante that's, I'm assuming, going to be close to the actual comic book version in Peacemaker. And I think it's going to be a very interesting kind of him and Peacemaker, I don't know if they would team up necessarily, but like I think it's more going to be probably butting heads.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be really interesting to see that. And I mean, seeing this actor go up like against John Cena, I mean, that's gonna.
Yeah.
Like I said, he looks kind of baby-faced for it, but I'm here for it. It'll be cool.
Yeah, and anybody's gonna look tiny next to John Cena.
Not The Rock.
Nope. Well, yeah, there's that. DC has John Cena and The Rock. That's just ridiculous.
I love it. They should lean into it. I'm so excited to see the guy with the toilet bowl on his head.
Oh my god.
That's like my favorite diss from the freaking Suicide Squad.
And that was the first line.
All right, you look like you have a toilet bowl on your head. I'm like, yes, that's amazing. That's all I'm going to say about this character now. Can you imagine you work so hard on your superhero costume and you just get like slapped down like that?
Oh my god, right?
How do you recover after that? How do you respond?
Pretty sure he just doesn't care, right? Which is great.
I'll murder whoever I need to make peace. I don't think that's how it works.
It's not exactly, yeah.
It is now.
Yep. No, that series is going to be nuts. And I love Robert Patrick, too, and he's in that series. I can't wait to see what T-1000 does. Yeah,
it's definitely going to be very, very interesting. And we did talk a little bit about some Green Lantern stuff, but we've got some news that Richard is very, like, legitimately excited to share.
Yeah, for sure. So this is an exclusive that comes from my buddies over at the Direct, that the news is released that Lee Toland Krieger has been tapped to direct multiple episodes of the Green Lantern series, including the pilot. He's done episodes of Riverdale, Chilling Adventures of Young Sabrina, Superman and Lois he's done, so he's familiar with the DC
the one
world.
You should have started with.
I ended with it, so because that's the big one.
You went with Riverdale in the Sabrina thing for the Green Lantern director. That was your all right.
All right, that's leave it to me to be the ridiculous one, but anyways,
Green Lantern to be directed by the same guy who's done some of the Riverdale episodes. That's gonna be a really big headline that everyone loves.
Oh yeah, but so no, I mean,
they're going to do a bunch of musical episodes of Green Lantern. Is that what I'm hearing?
They did a musical episode of Agent Carter.
I would honestly like. I don't know if I want it in this Green Lantern show, but in a Green Lantern show, I think that would be a lot of fun.
Have Ryan Reynolds come back and do it.
Yes.
Bad as I remember. He watches that. Nope, never mind.
It's bad.
Mistake.
He has the same reaction to that as Deadpool did watching his entire team die in Deadpool 2.
Yes.
The bad news, the whole team is dead. Good news, I don't think anybody's going to miss Shatterstar.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. But no, like, I'm totally giving Richard a hard time about the musical episode thing.
Oh yeah.
That is giving him crap.
But yeah, no, thank you for that. But regardless, I mean, he should have he should do a pretty good job on this. I'm excited. I'm excited to direct out the exclusive on it, and it seems like a good choice for a director on this series.
Yeah, I mean, Superman and Lois has that multiple genre element that I think Green Lantern is really going to be tapping into with the multi-generational story. So that is something that should be very interesting. And he obviously, like, Superman and Lois has that more HBO Max feel to it. So I think that's
definitely
also a good indication that he should do a pretty good job of this. I mean, the pilot, like, that's a big deal. It's not.
We don't know how many episodes he's doing, but he's definitely doing the pilot. So that should really help out.
And he's clearly worked with the Berlanti folks because Superman and Lois, I think the other two, too, are Berlanti stuff.
Berlanti seems like a very common name in that kind of Arrowverse DC TV show thing.
Yeah. And
well,
the
he's
weirder
attached to pretty much every single.
He basically has the CW is like.
Well, not even just CW, but he was on Titans as well. He's on Green Lantern.
Right.
Yeah. He's got HBO Max, but like my thought is when like the Arrowverse stuff ends over at the CW and the other Berlanti shows end, does the CW have content?
That's a great question.
Making shows. They'll keep making shows. They're not going to end the Arrowverse. I mean, well, maybe they'll end the Arrowverse, but they're not going to stop making DC shows. Like,
what is there 5 or 6 Arrowverse shows? all in all, there's Arrow, Flash, Black
Arrow's
Lightning.
done. Arrow, Black Lightning, and Supergirl are gonna be. Arrow's done. Black Lightning's done. Supergirl's gonna be done. So there's Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Batwoman, Superman and Lois.
Stargirl is in Earth 2, but it's still connected with Jake Garrick.
And then the new one that's gonna come out, I think next year is, what is it, Naomi?
Naomi, yeah.
So that'll be, I think, 6.
Did we talk about Legends? Did we say Legends?
Yes, I did.
She said Legends, yeah.
I would not forget Legends.
Come on. That's true.
She's our Legends expert on the show.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, so no, I think I'm excited whenever we get news like this because it really means this stuff is moving. And I think Green Lantern is probably, because I like Doom Patrol a lot, don't get me wrong, but I think Green Lantern is probably like the HBO Max show I might be most excited about.
Oh yeah.
I think so. I mean, Peacemaker is going to be awesome, but I think I agree.
I'm also a little biased because like I've done
You've had a few
almost every exclusive on Green Lantern. I think Brax did some of the early ones, but
I did one, I think.
Oh really?
Maybe one, but yeah.
I think I remember that. But yeah, I've done quite a few Green Lantern exclusives, and even then I've done, even besides the Green Lantern show, I've done a lot of Green Lantern stories. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to finally seeing the show come to fruition. Hopefully with more casting news and director news. That means that they'll start filming here soon, and we get to actually see it. But and then I don't know if we actually caught onto this, but Titans season 3 actually has a release date. Let me look that up real quick. I know that's actually probably all of our favorite shows. Richard, it's your favorite show. I know Caitlin, it's your favorite show.
Because
I watched it.
Because I totally know things about it.
I will say I binge watched it. That was a long day. And I binge watched Clone Wars in a week, y'all.
Oh,
I do plan on going back and rewatching Titans before season 3 because I will be watching season 3.
Yeah.
It's coming out August 2021 on HBO Max.
What I can't wait to do is I haven't done this yet, but I want to rewatch the Marvel Disney Plus shows, like binge watch them through, like the 9 episodes of WandaVision, the 6 for Falcon Winter Soldier. And
can I do it now, not like after more of them come out?
Oh, I'll be doing them when more of them come out for sure.
Okay.
It's gonna happen more than once, but but yeah, no, that'll be really fun.
I'm just excited to rewatch all the movies that tie into the different stuff, like rewatching the Thor trilogy and Avengers.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, or like watching all the Black Widow movies that are coming out before Black Widow comes out.
Yeah.
I thought
a little over a month.
I completely
because there's been multiple Black movies.
There.
Yes,
yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna watch all the Black Widow movies. I'm like, wait a minute, was he saying a joke? And I'm like, oh, the movies that she was in. Okay, like because
sometimes
there are
I have
Black Widow movies.
Bryce.
I got you now.
He froze in the funniest position.
Did I freeze?
Did I just yell him into freezing?
Yes, you did. In the best position. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
But speaking of the CW, as we mock but love,
yes,
The Flash next season will have the first 5 episodes as crossover episodes, but not a crossover event.
Semi sort of.
It is. It's 5 episodes. Like. All right. They haven't announced exactly who. They've just said multiple of the Arrowverse characters. So I'm gonna guess, like I'm gonna assume the characters that are existing now in shows. But I also think that this could be a chance to have the return of some of the characters. Like I would love to see Felicity come back because her and Barry are freaking hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, I do remember Felicity was great from the stuff I've seen of Arrow so far. So once I get more into the Flash, I'm sure she's really good at that too.
Yeah, and because I don't know that Stephen Amell necessarily has time. Because I don't think he would, I know he's done, and he said he's done, and I believe him. But I also don't think he'd be against hopping in for something small. But he's got his show heels and stuff. So I
think they've kind of wrapped up Felicity's story too. At the end of Arrow.
No, I do too. I just wouldn't mind seeing her pop up because I enjoy her and Barry and her and Caitlin.
But aren't they technically in? Isn't she she's not dead, but she's in the afterlife, right?
Felicity? No, that's a future version.
Oh.
Or Is it? Does that
Yeah, I don't
timeline?
think so.
I think that
Timelines.
that timeline doesn't exist anymore.
What?
Because that was the timeline where Oliver disappeared, not died.
Timelines.
Remember?
No, it
'Cause
was the post-crisis timeline, right?
No, it was pre. Because that was when Star City was like horrible, and then post-crisis it was great.
But then at the end of the finale, Oliver and Felicity go into that afterlife house thing, right?
Oh yeah, I don't know that because we still have Felicity who's raising the kid.
Yeah, wait a minute. How does that work?
I'm assuming that's set down.
I just realized that the Arrow finale makes absolutely no sense at all.
Just realized. Oh, I've said that for a while.
Okay. Anywho,
I'm guessing that Felicity is like it. That's way down the line when Felicity dies. Is my bet.
Okay.
But I'll be curious to see what this whole crossover thing is for the Flash.
Yeah, I mean, they've been doing these shortened storylines, and I'm not a fan of the one they're doing right now. I'm hoping it's wrapped up after the last episode because it's super freaking weird.
Yeah.
And that's saying something. Me saying a storyline of the Flash is weird. Like,
yeah, for sure.
So I think if they're doing this crossover style thing, and they're saying it's not an event, so I really want to see what that means. Is it Barry traveling to other places? Is it other people coming to him? Like, what is the process of that? So I think it'll be cool. I mean, I'm glad we're getting something with that because we did kind of not have that with COVID, which is completely understandable.
Right, for sure.
And I think Barry is really kind of the like anchor of it now that Oliver is gone. So I think this will be cool.
Definitely.
And I would love to see him get into some shenanigans with the Legends. I would love to see Barry messing up the timeline without his speed time travel.
For
Just
sure.
messing it up because he's Barry, not because he's the Flash.
Yeah.
There we go.
But yeah, I think that is our breakdown for this week's news. Sorry for the technical difficulties.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll be able to get them fixed soon.
Yeah, I mean, worst comes to worst, we kind of have it more this podcast style, which I don't think is the worst thing. So
we'll make it work.
Anyways, but yeah, we will for sure we will be back next Sunday, not Monday, but Sunday at 1 p.m. our usual time. You'll either see us and hear us, or you'll just hear us.
Yeah, either way.
You'll see next week, as will we.
Tune in to find out.
Right.
As we've said, join us for the Star Wars watch along for the next episode of the Bad Batch Thursday at 11:40 p.m. Join us for the Marvel watch along when that returns with Loki on June
9th.
8th
Yep,
at 11:40 p.m. for 9 when Loki actually premieres.
Yep.
We've got wrestling shows. We've got Star Trek. We've got like a lot of Power Rangers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even like on is it 6?
4
shows that are Power Rangers. Like we've got a little bit of something for everyone. So please like, subscribe, comment, join us in the chat when you have the chance, when you're watching with us. And as we've said again, it's all connected. Please join us next week on Sunday when we have a nice show coming to you because like we said, we've got some exclusives dropping this week. So stay tuned to the Illuminerdi website and all of our social media handles.
Some good stuff.
Yeah. Anything else you guys want to add?
I wrote up a good Marvel one that's coming up this week. So be ready for that. And thank you guys so much for tuning in and look forward to doing this again next week.
Yeah, I think you guys pretty much covered it. Be sure to follow us on social media. Be sure to stay tuned to the site as well. We got a bunch of stuff coming up as always. So you never know whenever a new story is going to be coming out. So definitely be sure to follow the Illuminerdi on social media to be notified of everything new going on in the world of comic book, movie, TV, news, and just news in general. So again, thank you all so much for watching. And remember, here at the Illuminerdi, we're always watching. Take care.
See you guys.
Bye.